there was like 100 and something A's, 85 B's, whatever. And then once it got down to the F's, it would always say like 2. I was always one of the fucking 2, dude. I never got anything.
That's not
I'd be like,
good.
ah, shit.
Shit, it was me. Every time it's me.
Every time it's me. I was like, the odds gotta be on my side eventually, right?
Damn, dude, you would never survive in Hunger Games, dude. You would be.
Mm-mm.
Your district
What
would
happens
be
in
the
the Hunger
first to
Games?
go. The whole thing is, may the odds forever be in your favor, because you know during the story, like the odds play either in your favor or against you. You know, as far as like.
It's against. Oh, I would do horrible, dude.
How you survive, you know, or how long
I would
you
do
survive.
horrible. Oh
That's
my
what I'm
god!
saying,
do you know?
dude, like,
do you know Murphy's? Do you know Murphy's law? You know Murphy's law? I'm
Everything
Murphy's
that
law.
can and will happen to Josh.
When it comes to these movies like Zombieland or whatever, with like any type of apocalypse that would happen, I would be, or even what was that dumbass movie that no one could see? Blind? What is it with Bird Box?
Oh, Bird Box, dude, that movie was.
I would be one of the fucking people who was like, oh, open your eyes.
Fucking stupid.
One of the crazy guys was in that movie with Keith Jardine, former UFC MMA fighter. Shout out. Keith Jardine.
Shit, was he?
I never fuck with edibles. I may have maybe had them a handful of times. That was one of the times I ate. I don't know. My dad gave me some shit, and his shit's not regulated. I just took 2 of the chill pills that you gave me. Is that good? He just laughs. He goes, "You'll be fine."
Speaking of car crashes, zombies, edibles.
Keith Jardine.
Keith Jardine.
UFC.
What a
59.
card we had, dude. What a fucking card we had. To everything was a knockout. To what I thought everything was gonna be a knockout.
Early
It was
prelims.
everything. If there was a pay-per-view you should have bought,
it was this
it
one.
had everything: knockouts, decisions, controversy, disqualifications. It had sounded like a fucking WWE event, dude. It had fucking it ended in DQ, dude. He did illegal moves. I was like, oh shit, dude, yes. This is the best pay-per-view ever. And then DC was like, yeah, dude, he got a choke slam and drop the fucking elbow and shit. I'm like, damn, dude, what a card, man. What a fucking card.
I guess if you are a WWE wrestling fan to come over, this would have been the perfect card to start.
Dude.
So there were, like you said, there was so much drama with either bad stoppages, DQs, entertaining fights, or whatever. Everything.
And then you had Dana being Dana, dude. Still, dude, we're gonna talk about it.
Dude, I can't wait to talk about whatever we're gonna talk. I know you have a lot of things that you want to bring up. I have not. I'm waiting for whatever. However,
honestly, dude, I had so much. Like I rewatched everything over again, like right after, just to let it sink in and just to enjoy it, in the background. I don't know, man. I don't even know where to start right now. Like I texted you fucking like 4 a.m, just blowing you up.
Oh my god! Here, I gotta read this real quick. That's really funny.
This guy's fucking pot news. This doesn't know what he's doing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 window blocks, and not text messages. Honestly, dude, I skimmed. Didn't read all of it. I read the first one, which was the most important one, and then I just skimmed the rest.
Because I was like, dude,
I got so much shit to take care of today. I can't read all this right now.
It's like, damn, dude, I don't know who to tell. I gotta tell somebody. I'm like, Josh's phone is do not disturb, dude. I'll fucking text him. He doesn't fucking get it anyway.
I don't care. Just send it.
It was like 4:30, maybe 5.
This
is one of the rare times I think we're gonna start early prelims.
Yeah, we always start with the main card for the most part. But if this kind of goes to show the testament of the early prelims, because I can go through. Good. I was like, okay, we're done. Cool. Oh shit, we haven't even got the pay-per-view yet. What?
I don't even need to see it.
I don't even. One of these days, it'll be one of those nights.
Oh, dude, you almost made me.
Spill your it rhymes with schmalalo.
Rhymes with cum.
Why does it rhyme with cum?
Because like cum is different. Like cum could be like cum, or it could be like cum.
No,
I don't know.
It couldn't be.
Dude, how did we go from early prelims?
You tell me, dude.
You tell me, dude. I said you take it away, and we end up here.
If I go through the prelims, I'll have to shout out.
No, we can edit. Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Mix
Yeah,
it
let me
up.
just mix it up, man. Yeah, let me
I like you, man.
let me pull it up. I like you, man.
I like the.
You like the what? I love SureDog's website because it's still the same feel of a early 2000s. Dude, back then I didn't know what I know now. Of Medic
Spell it.
defeats UROS with the fucking accent over
He's the guy that got
Euros.
the bonus. Yeah.
He got the bonus, the TKO in round 1. Was that the one where I said, "Oh, he's out," and then a minute goes by? Was that the one? I was like, "Oh, he's done," and then
I know
because it was quick. I think that was the one.
That one. It might be.
I think that was the one. I'd have to go back and rewatch the fight because, again, like you're saying, there's so much shit that happened in this fight. It's so hard to remember. I think that was the one, but there was a fight in the prelims early on where I was like, "Oh, he's out." You and I were talking. I was like, "He's out, he's out, he's out," and then a minute goes by, and then the ref steps in and he's like, "Okay, he's done." I was like, "That's what I'm talking about. How much more brain damage? Like, do they need in the weighing in?" Shout out Josh and Big John, but Big John said something to me that was a huge takeaway from his podcast. Was he asked Josh? He goes, "Hey, Josh, are there levels to fighting?" Yeah, there's super high levels of, He's like, "Okay, there are levels to officiating," and that there are levels to officiating. That kind of that should be one of those statements that puts like a fire in your ass to like get shit done. I know it's not in an organization thing; it's a commissions and whatever else thing, but still. But yeah, that's neither here nor there for now. But it's relevant to the fights.
You're absolutely right. Stuff like this, when you watch it back, it forces you to reevaluate.
Isn't keeping the fighter safe, and the ref is doing their job, but there's no consequences for that. Really, no real big ones. Well, then same thing with
the question, like, why is the ref even in there in the first place? Why isn't another ref in there doing the officiating? Because, like you said, the ref's job is to not only to officiate the fight, but to protect the fighters from harm, from real harm, from long-term brain damage.
From Cater and Brian Ortega, when they both fought Max Holloway, they were too tough for their own good, and both of the fights should have been stopped earlier. So,
and exactly, and if he's not doing that, then why? It begs the question, then why is he in there?
It's just bad officiating, just like Big John said. There's levels.
Bad officiating, like there's levels to it, right?
There's levels to it, and Big John is the standard. He's the gold standard. He wrote the rules to MMA, so I'm gonna go with what he has to say. We get on to Amanda Lemos defeats Livia Hanata Souza. TKO punches round 1. So to start the night off, 3 knockouts. Round 2, round 1, round 1, and then you have Sean Brady defeats Jake Matthews with that submission arm choke. Sean Brady in the welterweight division is going to be a force to reckon with coming up here.
That's right.
He's going to be a fun one.
Fight. I was like,
he's going to be a fun one to watch.
Huge welterweight.
Yeah, that was the one where you're like,
I was like, they spelled welterweight wrong. It's spelled HEAVY.
He's going to be a problem. It's going to be fun to see his rise. And then you have that Kennedy. How do you say? Zechuo versus defeats Carlos Ulberg, KO punches. And then you have the featured early prelims. Tim Elliott defeats Jordan Espinoza by decision. That was a fucking fight, dude. That was the first decision of the night, but it was one of those decisions that no one gave a shit that it was a decision, considering that typically after you get 4 knockouts in a submission, you're like, oh, a decision? No, dude, that was a fucking. I think that one got fight of the night, right? Tim Elliott and Jordan Espinoza, I think, got fight of the night.
Might have.
Medic got performance of the night, and Kai Car France, I believe, got performance of the night. I believe that's 4 people. So, great fight. And then we get into the regular prelims. Speaking of Kai Car France, he was the first fight there. He got that KO punch in round 1 of the last, right before the end of round 1, right? Last 5 seconds. That was a weird one. That was the one where he dropped him, and then Herb Dean, gave him a hug, but Herb never waved it off. He just kind of pushed him aside. And typically he never actually signaled that the fight was off. So Kai Car France comes running back because everyone's just like, it's not done technically because he never called it off.
Yeah. I mean, I think he not even clipped. I mean, he clocked him twice.
Oh yeah, no, he was done.
Propped his head up, and then some bow. Amanda Nunes put him in the ground. Like, oh shit. I think what happened is he saw Herb like running, like maybe like, oh shit, like it's like he knew maybe to stop. He saw Herb coming, like, oh shit, I should stop. Maybe miscommunication, I think, is all it was.
Maybe.
But either way, either way, the outcome didn't matter. I saw like he threw his fucking mouthpiece, like, hey, fuck you.
We were talking about Joey B versus Eskar Askarov. I said I didn't like this fight for Joey B, and it showed. It showed. It just. I remember saying that it just, after Joey B's last 2 losses and how devastating they were and how horrible the knockouts and it just, and Eskar Askarov is a savage. It's just, it didn't seem like it was a good fight. Not to say that there's any easy fights in any weight class, but it just, I didn't like it for Joey B. And this is 3 losses in a row for him.
Yeah, that hell of a performance by Eskar Askarov, dude.
Yeah.
Hell of a fucking performance, dude. He's
and can you
99.9% sure. 33.3% repeating, of course.
He
tweeted that he was a Paralympic champion and like one of the best, this and that. I was like,
I just didn't know. I thought it was his hearing, and I was right. I just didn't know if he was completely deaf or what it was. And that's, I think Joe Rogan mentioned something like, doesn't it heighten your senses like all your other ones or whatever? It could. Well, here's the thing, like that noise. I'm not sure. I mean, who knows what demons he has in his head? But like all that chatter, like your corner, your opponent's corner, the DC, and that's gone.
Yeah, what most people try to do, achieve that perfect zen and silence, like he actually achieves, or he has
that zone.
Yeah,
not just kick a man when he's down, but like I was saying this during the fight with Joey B's fight, I was like, he's just like biting down on his mouthpiece, kind of like almost closing his eyes and just winging punches, and he's not being technical, he's not sitting back, he's just kind of being frustrated and reacting. And it just kind of, I didn't like the fight for Joey, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with him, but
I don't think it's the end for him. Just honestly, I just think it's a couple bad matchups in a row. I
just don't see him being, not like he can't be a contender, but I just honestly don't see him being a contender anymore in the UFC.
I mean, look at Kevin Gastelum. He lost 3 in a row from 3 of the top, and now he's back on the rise. So,
he's got one. He's got one
about him, because one of the reporters mentioned, about JDS and Uberim that, were recently released. They're like,
dude, savage. One reporter brought up, hey, you're going to let go Joey B now?
That's what I was just going to say. Like, is it time to have a conversation with Joey B? And Dana said, no. Very rare that we give Dana props.
No, give props, credit where credit's due, but yeah, he does say a lot of dumb shit.
Or he's like, huh? What? Can we?
Oil.
Yeah? Can we?
That you
can we
say that?
Can we?
Yeah, we can say that.
In his corner again? Who's the girl? Mackenzie Dern? Is that?
No, Megan O'Leary.
Oh, Megan O'Leary. That's right. I was like, somebody.
It's his wife. It's his wife. I know. I made an off-color joke to you, but yeah. So you got Kyler Phillips defeats Song Yadong.
Oh shit!
Unanimous decision. That was a great fight too. Kyler Phillips looked fucking good, dude.
I did not expect that performance from Kyle Phillips, dude. What a that
was a great performance. Song Yadong, monster. Great fight. Not much more to say about that one. That was just another fucking barn burner. And then you get to the feature prelim. Dom Cruz defeats Casey Kenny, split decision. I didn't think it was that close, to be honest, for a judge to give it the other way. And that kind of gets into the point. These judges are dumb. White did say, he's like, when fighting first started, like, they're handing out 10-8s now like hotcakes. Yeah. You got the fucking piss beat out of you for 4.5 minutes. I don't know what. Can you think of any round or of any of these fights that was an actual 10-8?
No, honestly, no. Well, we're gonna get there, but no, absolutely none of those fucking rounds were 10-8.
Especially for the main event. We're not even close to the main event, but especially for the main event. But there's so many fights
if you want to score like a part of the round, maybe like the last 30 seconds when.
But that's not how.
That's not how you. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm making it sound ridiculous. That's not how you do.
I hate when people come with the arguments. You're like, yeah, but if the fight was scored as a whole fight versus per rounds, I was like, that doesn't matter because that's not how to really beat the champion if it's a decision. It's like, what? No, 3 rounds. 3 rounds to dude. I got 3 of the 5.
Decision. He wins. He wins.
What do you mean? I gotta really? What does that mean? Really do it? You gotta really fight him.
Kill this guy.
Yeah,
smash this guy.
It's not the sport. The sport is every title fight is essentially a vacant belt. It's not like this is thought as or seen as by the officiating as a vacant belt every time. So there's no bias. Like, oh, he's the champion. Did he really beat the champion? Did he really beat him?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many human biases. Even if you don't know who either of the fighters are, to have like a personal like preference bias, there's still those biases of just like, did he really beat him? Because there's just the criteria is bullshit. It's just bullshit criteria that these judges are being fed, and also they don't know what the fuck they're doing or looking at. 10-8. I didn't think it was that close for a split. I thought it was unanimous. I'm glad that Dom got the nod.
Yeah.
You know, at least 2-1. I mean, I can see it being all 3 for Dom, but yeah.
Frozen. No, it's not. Now it's.
Am I frozen?
Never mind. Now I'm stupid.
Yes, dude. Finally. I guess that's how this one's gonna start. Oh.
Okay. Let's talk about fucking Thiago Moreta, the big.
Let's start it off with what? Your boy, that has your girl, Ratchik versus
honestly,
Santos.
I thought I saw Yana in Thiago's corner, but I thought Yana was Alexander's girlfriend.
Did we get it wrong this whole time?
Dude, there's so many wives that like.
Yeah. Let's see here.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We're already getting in trouble, dude, trying to keep track of all these women.
That's fine. Her other names are Foxy. Nice.
Yeah, Foxy Kunitskaya.
Nice.
I mean, allegedly. I didn't.
Alleged. I don't know anything.
I didn't know any. I didn't pronounce you husband.
Oh, it's Thiago Santos.
Oh, okay.
Did we get it wrong this one? Yeah.
I think I might have gotten it wrong.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't want either one of them.
It's worse, I think. I don't know. Better? I don't know. It's bad. It's bad.
It's not good. Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures of them.
Damn.
She looks so much different with in like regular clothes versus like her MMA attire. You know what I'm saying? Like when she's like done up, it just.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen.
I'm just on Google. You know,
I've
I'm
never
just.
seen any of that stuff.
Any of that stuff, nothing.
I don't care about any of that stuff.
But I said, yeah, that's right. I did. I said Ratchik by decision.
Yeah, I
right?
said that.
I said that.
I said it.
Yeah, I did say that. So, what I say is the best, and
stupid, dude.
This fight proves it. That's all I need to say. Yeah, that was no, man. This is a good fight. This was a fun one. This is another. I can't believe this is the first fight on the main card. That just goes to show how stacked this card is. But yeah, that was a great way to start this main card. Ratchik by decision. That's what I said. You had Thiago by. Oh no, you had Ratchik by TKO, right?
Yeah, but in the second round.
Beats Drew Dober. Holy fucking shit with this. Did you see that squeeze?
Yeah, that was like the submission of all submissions.
Oh my god. If you were going to give a performance bonus to anyone on the main card, I would say give it to Islam.
Islam, for sure. That submission
for sure.
Dude, props to Drew Dober for doing what he did on the ground underneath such immense pressure, but fuck.
And he didn't even get it. Dude, he had it. He got that submission in half guard, right? He wasn't even in side control. He just was powering through it. That
extent in half guard, just.
That's what I'm saying. This is just no one in the top 10 wants to fight that guy.
And that's why when
no one wants to fight him.
Pre-show, if you haven't watched it, that's why when you asked me pre-show, is Islam going to be champ? Do you believe he'll be champ with all this bullshit? I said yes. And the only reason he wouldn't be is if nobody wants to fight him.
Take it. I think people like Felder might take it, but they're top. Yeah, but I don't think top 5 would take
Ferguson's name out there, and I'm like,
you know why?
We're gonna get Habib. We're gonna get Habib Tony after all.
Yeah. That's like that meme where it's just like, oh, I want Habib Tony. Dude, we have Habib Tony at home.
Islam was working on his English, man. He's like, Tony's been talking all this stuff, man. Come get
He's talking all this shit on Habib. This is like, I like that call out. I mean, I think he could have. I don't think it matters who he fights in that division. I think it's going to be a nightmare for anyone. Not to say he just walks through anyone, but Tony on the 2-fight lose streak, I don't know. I don't see it being good for Tony, but I do like the call out.
Yeah.
It's time. I love that Islam. He's like, I can't be quiet anymore. And Dana was like, no one wants to fight him. Like, no one. Like, it's time, man. It is time. I agree. Islam Makhachev, he's ready. And this is the changing of the title. This is the.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
The officiators made it Aljo's job to decide whether he could continue or not. No, that's the doctor's job.
That was completely fucked up.
Yeah, like
that was completely fucked.
I don't follow Aljamain Sterling for doing what he did. I don't like. Okay, here's the thing. Kind of like, you know, the 2-year-old that stubs his toe around his parent and overhypes what actually is happening. Just get the, you know, not to say that the 2-year-old's not hurt, but he's not as hurt as he was leading on to believe. I don't fault him for saying I can't continue. I don't fault anything. I just don't like. Because if you look at the way that Aljo loses, or the way that, not loses, but has been knocked out before, and if you look at anyone who's been actually knocked out, that's not someone who's knocked out. That's someone who's coherent. That's someone who is there. Does that mean that you are fucked up and you probably shouldn't continue? Yeah, I mean, I don't fault him for that. I mean, it is what it is. But, like, you can tell that he wasn't completely out the way that he was, you know.
Doctor rushes in. He already said it was like illegal to the, you know, to the thing. He whispered this and that. Like, I don't know why there was so much time in between all of these definitive statements. Like, that statement was pretty black and white.
Yeah, because, you know, it seemed like they were just waiting for Aljamain Sterling to make up his mind, which is like, he was already showing you that the fight was done, and that it should have been called. And that's why I also say, like, it didn't seem like he was as out as he was leading on to believe, because you don't roll over and say, I don't want the fight to end like this, and also be out. You're not coherent and not coherent. That's not, you know what I'm saying? You're not knocked out and also talking coherently to someone. Josh Koscheck was almost, you know, he was king at those flops in MMA and those missed knees and shit. So, yeah, it's just some fighters, I don't fault Aljo for the choices that he made. I just don't like that the pressure was put on him to make the decision, is what it seemed like. And also,
that's a fair statement, right?
And also, I didn't like his, like, it would have been better for me if it was just like out. No, like, it was illegal. No, fuck that, dude. I'm not continuing. Because the same thing happened to John Jones, Anthony Smith. John Jones hit him with an illegal knee, and Anthony Smith said he was okay to continue, so the fight went on, versus it being a DQ for Anthony Smith. Yeah, other than that, random. I said 3rd round submission. We got 4th round disqualification. I
said 4th round, but there was.
Oh, you got the round right?
I got the round. That's all I got.
Nice.
That's all I got. I got the round right.
That's funny. I got Aljo right. So I had an and new card. You had an and still card, and your girl Amanda Nunez doing Amanda Nunez shit to my girl Megan Anderson. If you're out there, if you're watching, I still love you. You're still the best. You're so beautiful. You're still everything.
Dude, speaking of beautiful, not that Amanda Nunez isn't a beautiful woman, but I saw some pictures of her in her, like, early Strikeforce days.
Young Amanda Nunez?
She had this, like, Halle Berry thing going on back then, and I was like, good day.
She wasn't the 45 champ. She was a little softer, a little green, a little, you know. Yeah, I know. That short, curly hair.
Mochaccino face, you know.
Mochaccino face.
The big broad shoulders.
Yeah, that was a rough one to watch, man. I was really hoping. I was very optimistic for Megan. I love Megan. I'm always going to... anyone who is that raw and open about their mental health and their depression and anything, and how she's so open about how she tried to commit suicide and how broken she was from the military, and how a lot of the ways that she talks of where she was and where she is now, kind of like, I feel a lot of the same of kind of where I was. And obviously our scenarios were different that led us there, but the way that she speaks about feeling how broken and how this and how that, I relate so closely and deeply with that. I'm all, like, that's my girl. Megan's my girl. Just through and through. I love Megan. We'll see what happens next. I just, you know, It's me.
Lying as shit, man.
Yeah,
She's
and
gonna
you
hold
are
on to the titles as long as she wants, dude. I said
That's
it
what Dana
then,
White
I'll
said.
say it now.
That's what you said, and that's what Dana White's saying, and that's what Amanda is saying.
That's
And
what
you were
Amanda's
actually
saying.
100% correct. We both had the same argument, but on the different spectrum to say Amanda Nunez's focus was focusing on her child, and it's going to take her focus away from fighting. And that's where it's like when I said, when you, because you know, like you have your dog now, obviously it's not a kid, but you know that your focus and energy goes into your dog versus other things that you put focus and energy in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would translate over to fighting to where she's spending so much time with her kid that she's not that she wouldn't be professional or trained. It's just that her mind was more just being a family person.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm the lioness. This is my cub.
This is my cub.
And she did exactly what you said was going to happen, is that she went in and did lioness shit, man. That was a hard one to watch. That first punch that landed, that stanky leg vegan.
Wide-eyed her, big time.
It's different, man. It's
that lioness power. They talk about Polish power where we're gonna get to, but I think getting hit by Amanda Nunez is different than getting hit by any other woman in any women. It
really is. Any woman, anywhere, anytime. Amanda Nunez.
You know, I'll say that. Yeah. You know, getting hit by her doesn't seem to be the same as everybody else, man.
The only other person in MMA right now that could probably give her any fight, only because we don't know because of her not being in the UFC. I think her name's Kyla Harris.
I was gonna say, damn, do you pronounce Valentina Shevchenko's name wrong, dude?
Shevchenko's just too small. That's the only problem. She's just too small.
You're too small to make coffee. You're too small to make good coffee.
So around. I love that champ shit. That dude. Did you see how happy she is? I'm the fucking best. Put me on your goddamn shoulders and carry me around. Right? It's fucking awesome. I love it.
Polish speed.
Polish patience.
Technique.
And his
patience. It was everything that we didn't think it was gonna be. And Izzy said it himself. He thought he was gonna rush in and he was gonna catch him. And we saw a lot of the stuff.
Did you see in our pre-fight video what I thought he was gonna do? I thought the same thing. I thought exactly what Izzy was gonna. He was going to do what Jan does, which is he gets frustrated, and he will come in and just charge a little bit, but his patience
paid dividends.
But every time he bit on a feint, I felt like Izzy just let the feint go and didn't really capitalize on it. He didn't really make Jan pay for the feints that he was biting on, and that's where Izzy is his best, is where you're biting on the feint and then it's hiding whatever the fuck he's setting up. But it just felt like he kept saying that at the end his legs were fatigued, and it could be why he wasn't really doing much more than what we saw. But so much respect in this fight from both men, and I love what Izzy had to say. He's just like, I'm glad that if I had probably gonna butcher this quote, but he's glad that he lost to a champion like Jan, talented, respectful, great.
If he was gonna lose to anyone, he was the guy, dude.
He was glad that he was the guy, and what they say that Izzy won the first three. I get it, and then Jan won.
Whatever the fight, it did make a difference, but you're right.
It didn't make a difference, but at the same time, But if it went to Izzy, I wouldn't have been, upset. If it went to Jan, I wouldn't have been upset because of how the fight panned out. I saw it. It was a close fight. It was a really great fight.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you watch that fight and you go, oh, yeah, one man got 4 rounds of 5,
there was no 10-8 rounds. There was no 4-1 on either side. There was none of that shit. None of that shit.
No. So
I had it 2-2 going into the 5th. And the only reason I think that Jan
2-2 going into 5 and then the takedown.
And then that takedown, perfectly timed,
I could see an argument if I'd have in the moment. I have to rewatch this fight, but in the moment, I remember watching live. You could argue the first 3 for Izzy and the last 2 for Jan.
So I know you'll watch it back again. I had
the first one for Jan, right?
No, I had the second, the fourth,
the second,
and 5th. The first and third,
2, 4,
I
and
gave
5.
to Izzy.
Okay. Score one round. So I missed out on 100.
Damn, 100 XP, dude.
Shit. I just saw that. I just voted on it, and then it gave me 0. Shit. Okay. But yeah, there was no fucking way that fight for either fighter was 4-1. There's no way. I don't know what you do. Like you said, this fight, top to bottom, had controversy, had this, it had that. The biggest fucking issues, this fight, Or what? The officiating.
Officiating, referee.
Every single
judges.
fighter made weight. Every single fighter
Showed up.
showed up.
Because what we say is, you know, is right, is the best. We're the
It
best.
is right. It is the best.
We are the best. We made the weight. We showed up.
We are the best.
We're on camera, so we're champs. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.